chat. It can't be a Friday without any reaction. Andy! Oh yeah! And this time it is Phil Cutters. What went wrong? Honkaistarrail. 50-minute chat, 50 minutes. Let me also get some bananas while to go eat. While do some reaction, Andy. Right? Okay. Alright, got some banana here, and let's go watch. Phil Cutters. What went wrong?
If there's one thing about Honkai Star Rail that sets it apart from similar gachas, for better or worse, it's the rate at which it releases new characters. Quite simply, they release a ton, some might argue excessively so. With the game's new dimension.
Is it way too much 5-star? I think it's fine, right? Every new patch is a minimum 1 new 5 stars, some rerun. I don't think, hold on, let me check. I think every patch is a 2 new 5-star, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, okay. So every new patch is 2 new 5 stars. I guess if you compare to Genshin early years, I think that's also be the same, right? They also release that much, maybe a bit less, but that's fine. Most of 4-star, if was it? Most 5-star characters to release, you don't have to pull for them, and that's good. And just imagine, right? Just back to back, there are 5 stars that you need to pull. That just becomes what is it? Like very predatory. I mean, it's kind of is now, but it's not really that much. You know, you don't have to pull for Eklea, you don't have to pull for Horta, have to pull for Trebi here and there, but sometimes you don't have to feel like you have to pull for them, and that's low-key kind of good.
To turn-based format.
What's up, RoboBees? Welcome to the stream. It was fine until I'm furious. Really? I don't know. I don't think so, right? Before I'm furious, I still think if you talk about park rip and like maybe it's 5 stars, before I'm furious, there's still like a lot of park rip happening in Pegoni arc, whatever it is, right? I mean, sure, Eklea should be kind of broken, but you know, I like more first design than Pegoni. It's for me it's the same. But yeah, it's just different people's opinion. But for me, it's like same.
Not disallowing any skill expression, the main way to differentiate new characters from older ones is to either make them capable of doing more things, or doing the same things but better. Couple that with the aggressive release schedule of 2 5 stars per version.
Holy. Okay, let's access it. Let's just look at this real quick on.
Or doing the same things but better. Couple that with the aggressive release schedule.
Black Swan, Dawn to Poo for Sparkle, yes. Akron, yes. Aventurine, Kana, yes. Robin, yes. Will no. Firefly, yes. Jet, no. Yunli, no. Yao Chu, maybe. Fei Xiao, yes. Ling Xia, yes. Rappa, no. So, you know, overall, some don't have to pull, some yes, some back-to-back have to pull for, but, you know, it's here and there.
Sole exception being 2.6, which is Rappa, the community has been debating if power creep is something to be concerned about, especially with every...
I still don't think power creep is that... Okay, sure, okay, you know what? Yes, there are a big power creep in the game. But can you manage it? Yes, you can. You can manage your resources so that the power creep don't happen. So that you don't have to complain about power creep forever, right? You can plan your pools and pool who this is, and boom, you can still have a good team even though power creep's still there.
New character feeling like it's trying to one-up the ones who came before, and it's not really hard to see why. Looking at all the units who came out since 2.1, every single one of them is currently in top tier, or has been in top tier for a single...
That is true. That is true. Junli can be debatable. Woodhill debatable for a bit. He's dodging in perfection, right? Jet, kinda debatable. The rest is just, yeah, very meta.
Significant amount of time before eventually falling victim to power creep themselves. Such progression has been here ever since the beginning of the game. Units like Seela, Jingliu, Kafka, Silver Wolf, Luocha, and Fuxuan were once the creme de la creme back in their time. It's just in light of Starrail's Cavalier power scaling, by relativity, they've been losing
I
market
still think
share.
any new
While they're saying that would imply at some point in time they all had their time in the spotlight, correct?
Which one?
That may be true for most of them, but
I think
what
it
about
still
for
work,
those
but
who never got the chance to
work
shine?
a bit,
For today, we'll be looking into Honkai Starrail's failed characters to find out what went wrong with them.
victory, but you know,
guys might be
Hitman,
scratching your heads as to why I'm talking about old characters when a brand new character literally just came out. That's a good question. The answer
Blade? Wow. Is that the Trailblazer? Preservation? Oh my day, I don't know.
is I have no idea, but I'll help you out with getting them. If you haven't pulled for trivia yet, may I suggest you check our sponsor for today, Top Up Bot. You guys probably saw them around here and there.
Alright, skip.
Never discussed familiar to you. So, I've done the same one for Genshin Impact compared to Pay. These are not
what?
making it. Perception
Are we
on character
past?
value
Yeah, we
in
passed.
Starrail is noticeably different compared to its predecessor. With the title being much more endgame and meta-driven, the player base has no choice but to pay more attention to whatever new is coming out, so it's not
Honkai Impact chat, Honkai Impact.
To fall behind. And retrospective discussions like these are not quite as interesting, I'm sure. Nevertheless, I think it's still worth talking about. Despite the game not even being 2 years old yet, so much has changed in that time to where the HSR from 6 months ago doesn't even feel like the one we have now. Back in my Genshin video, I talked about how even C-tier characters, with enough investment, can reliably full clear Spiral Abyss in some capacity, making it so the term failed had less to do with if they could beat the endgame or not, and more about if it's worth consciously pursuing them over more efficient alternatives, aka the A and S tier units. Starrail's a bit different, especially recently. There seems to be a much more pronounced line in the
What is this? Okay, just average using
the sand on if a character is remotely capable of passing MOC, PF, and APOC. Not even perfect score, I'm talking the bare minimum required to get 3 stars. Although that is to say, some units may genuinely be considered unusable in endgame content, unless of course the other 3 units are just so goated they can effectively run by themselves, only getting coattailed by said unusable character. Now, Starrail does have a ton of characters that were really only meant to carry you no further than the early game. The ones I want to talk about for today are those who initially saw a ton of potential, or for said potential to either fall extremely flat, or just never have been tapped into. Undeniably, the greatest example of missed potential is Walt Yang.
That is true!
Despite his
bit of a backstory here, right? For Welt. When I started playing Starrail, I last week to my friend of me playing it and do some pulls. I pulls fucking Welt and here we go in the first 10. They were screaming their ass out of Welt. They were like, bro, you so lucky, man. Oh, you so lucky, bro. Welt is the only imaginary cat in the game. You so lucky, bro. This and that. That's not the why. I think that's only why they care about Welt. Is that he's the only imaginary cutter and he can break stuff and that's it really. Bro, first game, bro, like first year in the game, man. First week or first month even. Bro, I don't think people know what they're doing. Like they're so much stronger than me because I would have started rocking. Why you don't like being a servant? Maybe you prefer being my pet. You know what, chat? You know what? Even if Payman don't do this to me, I would just start fucking barking when she appeared, man. She don't need to do this for me to bark. This is like way too much for me to bark. She just need to appear in front of me and boom, I would start barking. Like fucking actual speed on stream. Oh, she don't need to do this, man. Like, oh, this fucking what do you call this? White. I just forgot what it called. The thing that people use in the 17th century, whatever. She don't need to do this. She just needs to walk to me and boom, I would start barking like a fucking dog. Alright, cool. I think Ballo is worse. I mean, yeah, Ballo can heal, but you know, even fucking Gallagher better than Welt can be. I'm coping so hard, man. Welt can still be used in some times, but I don't think Ballo can be used such much. The only thing she does is revive and heal. Whereas Welt maybe have some application. You know, apply the buff for Acron here and there. Semi DPS can do it. For Ballo's and nothing. Touching down there, agree. Gepard can be there, like you know, good sustain. Clara can be there for a bit. Himiko stops here perfection, and that's it, yeah.
More perplexing is how initially players were anticipating him to be the opposite when the game first began, the second best 5-star standard character only behind Bronya. While the other units took more defined roles like your healer, your tank, your DPS, your support, Welt opted for something else entirely, being the only imaginary unit during the game's launch and the first 5-star Nihility character as well. A path that even to this day is defined by the absence of a definition. It's arguably the most nebulous path in the game, although we can reasonably surmise that it's the inverse of Harmony with a focus on debuffs over buffs. Welt's debuffs in particular were noted for prioritizing different aspects of combat compared to Bronya, who was more traditional in the way she empowered her team. For starters, the central theme of his kit was about turn manipulation and speed. His skill is a chance to reduce enemy speed.
I don't think the speed ever matter, man. Like low key though, that doesn't matter at all. I think
status effect onto all targets. The self-same one.
The orders do it, but the slope on the E doesn't do shit at all.
And lowers their speed. Beyond that, Welt's technique slashes enemy movement speed even more and delays their actions further. Combining all of this together, his entire premise was to basically never let opponents get a chance to attack. And on top of that, he also possessed additional party support in the form of his A2, applying bonus damage amplification to all targets struck by his ultimate.
Okay.
Furthermore, in contrast to Bronya, who was never expected to deal any meaningful DPS of her own, Welt on the other hand could, and was actually a very potent DPS character before those became a thing. He may have been a niche concept, but like with any concept, if it can be applied in practice, their potential is limitless. If it can be applied in practice. One would think with how speed became arguably the single most important stat in the game, Welt's ability to disrupt it would have aged nicely, and then maybe eventually have been expanded upon, right? Well, that's where we encountered his main problem: incorrect priority. One reason why the Harmony path in its entirety has been evaluated more favorably than Nihility is that it's a question of priority. In situations where your team versus the enemy, the order of operations when it comes to securing victory, so to speak, is to first begin with making yourself stronger, then making the enemy team weaker. In the case of Welt, increasing your own party speed takes precedence over decreasing enemy speed, and there's pragmatic logic to it. In a wave battle, if you apply debuffs to enemies and then struck them down, those debuffs would have done their job and then not much more. The enemy is now dead. If a new enemy were to take its place, you would have to
I'm guessing what he's saying is that reason why Harmony is better, I guess, is what? How many applications over a long amount of time? Whereas compared to debuff, it's like only for one turn. I think that's what you mean, right? Which I think that's just fucking game design, bro. That's just fucking game design. That is just bad, bro. That's just the death code, bro. Not the character, right? They can do the same for fucking the debuffer, lasts for a certain amount of time. And same thing to Harmony, but I think someone in there may be a bit racist to Nidity and make them worse than Harmony, I guess. I don't know.
Apply new debuffs to set
maybe
target.
one of them is the Harmony zipper, I guess.
Amount of buffs instead. Even after one enemy dies and is replaced by another, you still have that bonus pressure to then kill however many targets you can within that time frame. That's problem number one with Welt's design. Rather than delaying enemy speed, players would rather opt to increase their own carry speed, which has the same end result, give or take. And over time, Hoyo's been pursuing more of that direction, causing buffing units to find more general success than debuffing units. It wasn't until Nihility found more exclusive attack styles like breaking damage over time, as well as a hyper carry who explicitly demanded the party to prioritize debuffs over buffs, that it became more distinguished from its counterpart path.
Bro, I think the word of debuff is like so something now, right? Alright, in the Nidity section even. What? We have a fucking guy to do DOT. One is just a Nidity in disguise, right? Fucking Akron. I don't think debuff even matter for her, bro. Fugui. I like what? Same thing. She can be Harmony that no one cares about. Right? Sometimes I think sometimes the path doesn't fucking do anything, bro. They can be anything they want, and then there's the same thing, bro.
There was also one more issue concerning Welt's niche, in that it was a roundabout method to accomplish a conventional goal. Welt is arguably the closest we have to a dedicated crowd control unit, someone who inhibits enemy pressure and tempo in order to alleviate a measure of burden for his team. But with the way starrail has been structuring its endgame, all 3 game modes are effectively time attacks. How quickly you can wipe out the enemy lineup determines what your score would be. There are no survival missions or bosses whose attacks and patterns you need to carefully plan around. You just have to explode them as quickly as possible. And Welt inherently wasn't meant for a DPS race. Essentially, a significant headwind he has to deal with is one that technically every crowd controller does. The best crowd control is death. Just kill them and you won't need to stun or
that's
paralyze or
true.
nerf them.
That's actually true though.
With the break engine having evolved as much as it did, weakness breaks can be triggered on demand at this point, which have the same effect as Welt's ultimate, delaying enemy action. The game went about in a way so as to expand on everything except the playstyle Welt was engineered for, and even if—
So basically, just constantly getting fucked with the game. Right? Everything he getting fucked with the game. The buff is so bad at this point that this doesn't fucking matter. The game is prioritize speed so much that slowing down the enemy doesn't matter at all. And he does no damage aside from debuffing, which make him dog ass as a support. Like the game just constantly shitting on the guy, right? And that's why he's dog shit. It's just he have no potential to grow at all. It's just everything just go against him.
They decide to make bosses more threatening, forcing survival. Again, pragmatically speaking, instead of lowering enemy strength, you could always increase your team's defense or simply raise your team's own strength to overpower theirs. Poor choice of priority just happened.
Well, I guess that the debuff he does like it's like so useless. It's speed, right? Not defense, not damage reduction, not defense reduction at all, right? It's just speed, and that's it. And that's making bad compared to Robin. You ult boom entire team action combat. Ult also gives so much fucking buff as well. Run May, right? E does so much stuff. E grant team team damage here and there. Ult tap Penrise, good, so good for break. 3B I low-key don't know what 3B do. He does rest, ult does here and there. She still does that much, I think. Who else? Sunday, Wrong Young Crack. So all of them does so much more than what the fuck we gotta do. He only does is just boom in prison, slow down, boom, that's it, nothing else. So that's why he bad.
Happens to affect our next character to be discussed, Fire Trailblazer. Fire Trailblazer is to this day the most interesting preservation unit in my humble opinion, mainly because they don't adhere to your typical expectations of a tank in starrail. Ironically, however, they're exactly what you expect a tank to be in most other games, draw aggro. In any case, in lieu of defending their team,
bro, it's been so long since I heard someone
aggressive
fucking say the word
approach, wherein every time they get struck by an attack, they charge up a stack, and with a sufficient amount, they acquire an empowered basic attack. The idea is for Trailblazer to taunt all enemies with their skill, then take a bunch of hits, and then deal more damage. So while they may not be as protective as the likes of Japard and Fushuen, perhaps they can make up for it by doing more DPS. Where this started to become an issue for them is that much like Welt, this type of playstyle just never really ended up getting anywhere. To clarify, counterattacking is a valid playstyle as evident by units like Clara and Yunli, but not only is it counterproductive to pair two counterattack based units together, there simply isn't any built-in synergy on the side of Fire Trailblazer to merit doing so. For that matter, there hasn't been a circumstantial incentive to deploy a counterattack focused tank, among many other problems they have including their poor numbers, split scaling, and ineffectiveness at handling.
Okay, first off, right, could there be any new character that could exploit the preservation in Trailblazer? The only thing I have in mind just Janching, right? If he doesn't take any hit, his buff still there, the crit buff, crit damage buff. So that's one use of preservation Trailblazer. I don't know anything else though. I see he say here, right? Junli card maybe doesn't do it, but it's not really worth it, really. Maybe any future characters function same as Janching. Look at it and you're good, right? Is anything else? I don't think so, really. Yeah, no. Also, plus he also the speed scaling, that's really bad. If like again, what is it? Jack of all trade, but master at none, whatever, right? Like all this thing, and result of just being mismatched kit and there's nothing at all.
AoE attacks preservation MCs in a line of work that has no market demand whatsoever. Sustain a starrail has become less of a necessity and more of an afterthought, or at most a way to augment your party's consistency. The top sustains in the game are capable of doing things beyond just healing or shielding. They can also attack or...
Again, this is just fucking harmony, but getting pretty much preservation and abundance, right?
Or buff. Preservation MC was actually useful in teams that cared less about keeping their team alive, but right as more sustain options came out who could also do damage, Gallagher, Aventurine, and Linkshot, not only were they more efficient at doing so, but they could also do a better job keeping the team alive at the same time. Linkshot and Gallagher, who also happened to be fire element units, bought into the break engine, while Aventurine bought into the follow-up engine. Conventional healing and shielding lend themselves to better consistency than aggro tanking. Even though Fire Trailblazer can give their party a shield whenever conducting an action, the scaling is so bad it can barely block an attack from a minion, let alone a boss. Taunting as well became less needed and less functional with most enemies attacking in Blaster AoE anyway. Preservation MC tried to break the mold with the unique method of tanking for their team, but it turns out
I'm guessing these are very old gameplay.
The better, since they can then turn attention to buffing or dealing damage of their own anyway. The sustain category as a concept is extremely flawed in starrail. I might make a dedicated video giving my own thoughts on the matter, but many other creators talked about the topic already, so you should check those out in the meantime. Let's talk about one more character, Blade. There are many more units,
the
but
Blade.
for brevity's sake, we'll keep it at 3 for now, so I can talk more generally. What's the damage with Blade? Unlike the previous two, who I'm fairly certain will never get a chance to shine, there's been more attention given to the emo boy with the recent advent of Triby. Triby, for those who don't know, is an HP scaler. I believe the first Harmony HP scaler in the game.
I mean, sure, but that doesn't mean anything, right? HP scaling. This
has led a number of players to postulate if maybe there will be more HP scaling units in the future, which means Blade could finally get some much
customized in a way.
Licking. HP manipulation, and I guess HP scaling overall. Unlike most other attackers who scale off attack, the majority of Blade's DPS scales off max health. Both his skill and empowered basic attack, as well as his ultimate to a degree, require him to sacrifice health in order to deal damage. Or technically, if he uses ultimate below half health, he actually heals instead.
Okay, and okay, we want to talk about Blade for a bit. One of my friend, he fucking just like, I guess, glazed Blade for a while, right? You know, here and there, you know, saying Blade looks so good here and there. And the problem with Blade is that, sure, the losing health gets stacked, do follow up, more damage. That's good. But I think generally the problem is that his scaling is way too low. Like, generally, his scaling is way too low. So maybe, therefore, even with the even with a lot of normal attack plus follow-up attack plus ultimate, that combo, he does like almost nothing damage. So that just do nothing at all, really. So I think that's just a big downside for Blade is, you know, he fucking does no damage at all. And that's I think that's like the real reason. And I just love showing some screenshot of people just doing big Blade ultimate and the damage show is like 1000. I just love that so much, man.
Sustaining damage or paying a health cost then leads to an empowered follow-up attack that also heals him. So the intent is for Blade to take as much damage and pay as many health costs as possible, either by enemies, himself, or his own team, to activate his follow-up attack as often as possible. In addition, the amount of health he loses gets stored to then power up his ultimate. All things considered, it's not a bad playstyle and can be a lot of fun to mess around with. On top of the scaling is better. If only he got an.
On my days, Blade was God, however, I could not clear MOC. Well, that's skill issue. That is generally skill issue, but yeah. Back in the days, Blade was actually God though. I guess, fuck, they said Blade was just Blade, like just solo, like floor 6 of Sim Universe. God, that was so long ago. Sim Universe was so hard, man. Oh, that was so long ago, man. Sim Universe being hard. Wow.
Actual team. Outside of Jade, Blade has now received a single teammate who remotely synergizes with any aspect of his kit, and even in the case of Jade, you can argue their synergy is entirely accidental and far from optimized. starrail decided to forget he even existed and went about creating nothing but break and follow-up attack characters throughout most of version 2. Then when they eventually came back to hyper carries, they decided to just give us conventional attackers and buffers in that regard, leaving Blade with no true support who can assist him in doing what he wants to do. Few, if any, meta-relevant characters can give him the necessary tools or buffs to maximize his DPS. Not that he's a bad character, certainly much more usable than Welt and Fire MC, but for a featured unit you have to pull for, it's especially hard to find a reason to play him over just about anyone else. There is a possible ray of hope though. One of Trippy's Ascension traces increases their max health by an amount equal
should be okay. Wait, what? Must say increases by amount equal to 10%. Okay.
To a portion of the other 3 characters' max health. And Blade is without a doubt the tankiest hyper carry in the game, clocking easily over 8 to 9k. Assuming they plan to make more HP scaling units in the future. I mean,
they will, right? Of course, you know. Every fucking video game at least you need have one that's skill HP.
1 or 2 who can play more into his HP drain mechanic. Though if anything, we'll get more HP scaling characters, but rather than helping out Blade, they might just outright power creep.
They should also scale HP, I think.
Like Midai. Once again, yet another
Midai? Like, does he mean Midai?
Case of a unit who was going somewhere and then fell completely flat. The quote-unquote failures of Welt, Fire MC, and Blade encapsulate the running theme with most if not all failed characters. Every single unit in starrail has a purpose. What determines if they become top tier or bottom tier has more to do with if that purpose is needed.
Okay, let's do it jumping from here. How could they fix Blade? How could they fix Blade, right? They already announced that they are fixing old character, but how could they fix Blade? I think the only problem is that increases scaling and have something that could proc his follow-up bit easier. Because the problem with that thing is that almost no one in the game does that good aside from Jinglu. Jinglu lost health for the entire team, so that's also good for Blade because he lost health, right? Aside from Jinglu, then fucking no one. What? Lynx do E on Blade, so he can attack more. Yeah, okay, sure. Like almost no one in the game does that for Blade, so that's a big problem for him, right? So maybe decrease the amount you need. I think E6 or something, decrease that to 4. So that's good. Semi-good maybe. What? I don't know though. The just big problem is that he have no one for him. You know, the semi-physical boys, the semi-physical in Genshin. It's just they're good, but there's no one buffing them. And that's makes them bad. Seven's Blade, right? No one buffing him, therefore he's bad. Maybe damage as well. Damage, low-key kinda no. Increases scaling for a bit, and I think he's still be good. I think he's still Gucci.
Not so much how far that purpose can go. Take Serval for example. Throughout most of her career, she was a passing grade early game DPS character who couldn't do much more than that, given she's a 4-star main DPS, naturally having a lower ceiling than 5-star characters. However, through sheer fortunate coincidence, Madame Herta, debatably the current best DPS character in
Is it coincidence, chat? Is it really coincidence? Is it fucking really coincidence?
The game specifically needs another erudition character on a team who can AoE attack in high frequency, and
oh, so that's why I keep seeing her on her team. That's fucking why. Because of the fucking passive. Oh, I thought Servo do some debuff that indirectly buff her, but no, it's just because of the ascension trace that, you know, allow Servo to be used. I see.
Serval happens to be really good at spamming her ultimate to deal those high-frequency AoE attacks, making her one of the best companions for Herta, mainly because of the lack of alternative options apart from Jade. Bluntly speaking, Serval was a bad character, but through Hoyo manufacturing a situation just
do not show her after that. It's like tier 0. Do not do me that.
For her, overnight she instantly
no fucking shot. Shut the fuck up, man. No, I don't believe this. In a vacuum, she's bad. In a pure vacuum, she's bad. The only way she's up there because of Herta. This is not even fucking fair, man. Oh my fucking god. Like the tier, I don't know, man. Like random people are gonna see the tier list and see that Servo is top tier because she's good. She's only good because she's good with fucking Herta and no one else. This is so fucking dog ass, man. Oh my fucking god. I keep saying the fucking tier list is just fucking make me mad, man. Like sometimes they don't assess the kind of fair. Look at this. Example again. The only she goes because of Herta. And if any random noobs come in the game and look at tier list to see who they should be out, and boom, this is Servo top tier, and they think that okay, I can pair Servo with Kafka may be good, pair Servo with Facial, she could be good, pair Servo with Firefly, she could be good. No. The only thing she's good is fucking with Herta, and that's it, man. Oh my god, I'm so angry at this.
Became a high tier unit. Now whether she can hold on to that position for very long comes down to when Hoyo decides to release another rapid attack.
Dude, fuck nah, bro.
Erudition character. But the point is, even a unit as weak as Serval could find meta-relevant usage if extrinsic factors called for it.
Bro, this is just fucking Yu-Gi-Oh, man. Yu-Gi-Oh nutshell.
The same can't be
me when Book of Moo just become relevant again.
said for the units I talked about today, and by extension other characters like Hanya, Yukong, March 7th, Destruction MC, and the like.
Yukong, I feel so bad with Yukong and Hanya. I don't know when was this, but Yukong used to be a bit of meta, and then she just fall flat. I don't know when. Like people glaze her so much, and then she just fell off in the next minute. Hanya, she's usable for Dangheng team until Sparkle release. I think the reason why Hanya's so good because of she regen skill point. That's why she's good for Dang Heng. You know, the EO. That's why she's good. Maybe some debuff here and there. I still don't get why she's good really. But yeah, she used to be meta for a bit when she got released. Same for Yukong, rest fell off.
Honkai style has become a game of priorities. Whatever's in priority becomes meta. In general,
That's true.
it boils down to whatever is quickest, strongest, easiest, cheapest, or all of the above. But what makes a character age like fine wine or milk in this game comes down to 4 simple words. Do you need them? If the
Do you need them, chat? Do you need them? I don't know.
answer is no, it doesn't matter how much potential they have, they just won't shine in the meta. If the answer is yes, even if they're not as impressive as they look on paper, their surrounding environment will give them the relevance they need. Let's be real, Harmony Trailblazer is a lousy character when you consider the immense buffing faculty of other Harmony supports. The reason they were top tier was because they were the only unit who can enable Super Break for the whole party prior to fusion.
Like, no, I don't, no, I still think that he's good, right? Like, Loki Harmony Super is still good. Like, even with what Fuki release and something else, right? He's still good. No. And if okay, sure. Which is why he's top tier, because it's only Loki, the only character aside from Fugue that gives him Super Break. And I think that's fine. Like, allow the main character to be meta. That's good, right? That's generally good for the game. Main character should be strong and be meta, and that's good. Sure, future can power creep him, you know, like with release of IMC, right? The HMC don't have any more. You can't use HMC anymore. So that's why Fugue release, right? A substitute for HMC, bit worse, but a substitute. And that's why, you know, but it is still top tier. You either choose Fugue or HMC. I think low key sometimes you prefer to choose HMC because of a DDD.
You were under obligation to use them if you wanted to run a break team, but over time, if we get more super break enablers, the question do you need them will eventually phase from a yes to a no, although in their defense, they're convincingly the cheapest one, being free and all. Anyway, if in the future there comes a time where the specific tools of Welt, Fire MC, and Blade are needed, they can just as well rise multiple tiers in the meta, but it's highly unlikely that will happen, and even if it does, they might just release more power-crept and modernized versions of them. What do you guys think though? Do you agree or disagree with my rationale behind failed characters? Let me know in the comments down below.
Bro, I think I jabbed too much. I have no idea what he's saying. Like, sometimes I just don't know what I'm saying at all. Like, I say some stuff in 5 minutes ago, just watch shit and then boom, I just forgot what I say.
That's it for today, so if you enjoyed that video, a like and subscribe would be much appreciated. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter @varsfam, join my Discord server, and check out my other Honkai style discussions if you haven't yet.
Hold on, jabbing, hold on. Before that, hold on. You want any more jabbing? I might go jab for next week though, hold on. How about the Ridden Shogun? Oh, could be good though, could be good. Oh, it's been a while though, right? No, 2 days, 9 days. Oh, that was 9 days. Any more Star thing? Silver Wolf, could watch that with the months. Oh shit, yeah, okay. I guess we save some of this for next week then. Yeah, all right. But yeah, overall I think that's good, right? Semi good, Rex Andy. He does say some low key I don't agree with, but most times like yeah, okay. Let's just read some comment for fun. Blade got done so dirty. My day itches around the corner, and Blade still has an entire day. I mean, he has his day for like 2 months or so. I really saw that Blade never got a dedicated 5-star support. Physical in Genshin, not give it. But the speed and wealth thing is your fault for removing the turn base of the game. The overrewatch fact action and us O3 game do the exclamation temporary reward. Yeah, that's true. That is basically what I'm saying. Did not pre-watch at all, by the way. Basically got fucked by the game. He just got fucked by the game, and that's it. Which how all the game works in the game. If the game is all, assault. Yeah, true. I mean, that's just end game, right? It's just maybe some DPS check. I mean, the fact that the average universe exists, the fact that Steam universe exists, and that it help it make this character become semi-viable, which is very nice for those casual. But yeah, end game is for end game, right? You know, speed run stuff, get max damage per second, you know. The character didn't fail the death filter. Wow. It is not me, but it is not my fault, but that's fault. But yeah, okay. Again, like to subscribe to the guy. Do he I think he posts good video. But yeah, all right.